Whether someone's in sales or not, why is it important to have sales
Right.
skills?
So everybody thinks that sales is a job when it's a skill set. And yeah, you can monetize that skill set very well, but sales is a way to have better relationships, better friendships, the way that you talk to yourself in your own mind. Like you can roll your own objections that tell you, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, to make you really believe that you do deserve a better life in every single aspect. So sales to me is freedom because I full-heartedly believe that if you teach anybody, and specifically a woman sales, she'll never go broke again for the rest of her life. There's always something to sell. Your stuff, other companies, and not only just the money side, but also, it changes your friendships. It changes your relationships in every facet of your life. It allows you to gain control because you have to have, if you want to be good at sales, you have to develop a figure it out mentality. Like you just have to figure it out. And your mentality is like, if somebody tells me no, that's fine. Everybody's going to tell me no. I'm just going to go no, 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 no until I get my yes. And that kind of a mentality that sales has to teach you, it will make you successful no matter what you do.
Yeah, I don't have a sales job, but the amount of things I constantly have to pitch, share, communicate, it's unbelievable just how every area of our life is a sales job without even thinking about it. One thing you just said really resonated with me. I've never heard it put like that. You said that we even have to sell ourselves in our own mind
Exactly.
to ourselves.
Mhm.
Talk to me a bit about that because I've never heard someone say that before.
Right. So rolling objections in sales is like the scariest thing that everybody's like, oh my gosh, I have to turn a no into a yes or a negative into a positive. But when you roll other people's objections and when you really fight for somebody to transform their life, whether that's in your own business that you sell or whether you're selling somebody else's offers, you learn how to fight for other people and then you replicate it in your own mind. So everybody goes through the same thoughts of, this is too risky, or I should stay safe, or I'm not good enough, or, these limiting beliefs. But you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm feeling that fear. I'm feeling that kind of hesitation. That's negative energy. I need to turn it into positive energy in order to move forward. So you can roll your own objections, which is like, I'm not good enough. And then it's like, I totally hear you, calming, easing. Can I challenge that belief? That's what I always say to people. Whenever I roll objections, it's always, I hear you, but can I challenge that belief for a second? And then you challenge that own belief with somebody else, but also with yourself if you need it too. And it's how you just reframe your brain into, okay, I'm inputting something that's negative, but I'm going to feel that. I'm going to roll that objection, reframe it, and output something positive.
Yeah. And I love that acknowledgement that the feeling's real and the fear's there, but how do we challenge it? And I think you're so right that most of us, if our mind says something, we just believe it to be true.
Exactly.
So if your mind says you're not good enough, you're like, yeah, I guess I'm not good enough.
Exactly.
Or your mind says, no, people like you don't get to places like that. Your mind says, yeah, that's probably true. And we give up. Talk to me about what are the 3 sales skills that we can use everywhere in our life to get everything we want?
Knowing somebody's leverage. Okay. You can sell in sales, you can sell the same thing 10 different ways.
Tell
right?
me about that.
Okay, for example, if I am selling a fitness program, okay, I'm a closer on a fitness offer. I can sell to somebody who wants to lose weight. I can sell to somebody who wants to gain weight. I can sell to somebody who has some health problems and an urgent need right now. And I can sell to somebody for prevention, for just overall health. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can sell things. So if you try to sell the same thing, the same way to different types of people, you're only going to get those specific people that the leverage was built. Yeah. So what your job is to identify the specific leverage. And by leverage, I mean pain points. So different people have different pain points and what's going to motivate them in order to make a buying decision. So to kind of like back up, you need to understand somebody's leverage points and what they specifically want and what will change their day-to-day life by making a decision. And once you find the leverage points, that's the problem. The solution is whatever you're selling them.
Right.
Or, whether that be a promotion, whether that be, your boyfriend rolling objections with him, whether that be literally anything. The world is problem and solution. And if you can build enough value around people's pain points, there you go. You can solve anything.
So that's the first skill.
Mm-hmm.
What are
leverage.
the other 2?
So leverage and then building value. So if you can provide value to people, you will never be broke again. But you can also just unlock so many different relationships because you can build value with people. So value looks like you insert their pain points, which is what they want solved. But then you not only provide them a solution and just reading off what's included or, how you're solving it. I call it sell the sizzle, not the steak, because nobody cares about what you're selling. They care about what it does for them on a day-to-day basis. So that's the solution part. Then we get into the third, which is, I call it the KISS method, but it's keeping it simple, stupid. Life will get so much better for you if you understand that people don't necessarily say no to you because they don't want it or they don't, want you around them or whatever. It's because you're not clear. So if you make your ask clear to where somebody knows exactly when I hand over my credit card or exactly when I give this person this promotion or exactly when I give you this job, I know exactly what's going to happen. You give them clarity. And then the fourth thing is just ask. You never get anything done if you don't ask for it. Like, I created a career off of being annoying. Literally, like selling people, you have to be a little annoying. Growing a business, you have to be a little annoying. Content, you have to be a little annoying. But those people that step out of the box and just accept that being annoying or maybe a little pushy or just a little out there delusional, that is what's going to put you into rooms that you didn't really think you deserved. But the plot twist is you do deserve it because you asked for it.
Yeah. Tell me about the people, and I want to speak to the skeptics or the cynical people who are like, oh, well, if I'm talking to people's pain points, then I'm manipulating them. I'm taking advantage of them. What's the difference between ethical sales and doing it properly and then taking advantage of other people or manipulating them? How would you talk about the difference?
For sure. So everybody thinks that sales is manipulation, but it's actually emotional leadership. So what I mean by that is when you are selling somebody that's a qualified buyer, which means they're somewhat interested in what you have to offer, they are here talking to you because they have a problem that they need solved. So it is your duty to, if they don't solve their problem, if they don't, you didn't do your job. You didn't help them. So what helps with this is actually selling something that you believe in. And so if what you're selling is yourself, like on a job interview or talking to a friend or your boyfriend, you have to believe in your worth. That's a big thing. But again, if you're selling something, you have to believe in the worth of what you're selling because that comes off in the conviction of your voice. And sales is 80% the conviction of your voice and the energy that you have when you're talking about your product. Like I always say, people buy your eyes and the way that you have passion coming through when you're talking about something. So at the end of the day, it's only manipulation if you don't believe that you can actually help this person. But when you really step into emotional leadership, where you're leading people through kind of a hard decision, do I buy something? Do I not? Do I change my life? Do I get a new job? Do I join this fitness program or whatever? You are helping people make a better decision for them in the long run. And if you do it right, they'll be thanking you. So it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking back. So my first work experience when I was like 16 years old, my mom had asked for a favor from a family friend of ours to get me a job at this company at the Business Design Center. This is a event space in England.
Okay.
And I worked at a company where we'd be selling event space to people for these big events. So there'd be a event about bikes and we'd have to call up all these bike companies and sell them stands. So there was a car exhibition and we'd have to call up all these car companies. I knew nothing about sales. And I remember being trained to cold call like 300 people. Yeah.
Okay. So what was your pitch? What was your cold call?
I can't remember it. I can't remember it fully because I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I'd be on the phone and I remember just the amount of times I'd be like, hey, I'm Jay Shetty calling from the Business Design, or I think we were called Upper Street Events. She'll be like, hey, I'm Jay Shetty calling from Upper Street Events. The amount of people that would just put the phone down immediately. And it's what you just said a few moments ago where you just had to get used to the fact. Now, the Business Design Center was this beautiful event space. I really believed that it was a cool space to have events. It was one of the few places that there were big fashion shows that took place there. It was a really cool space. And it goes back to what you were saying, that it took me time to A, get comfortable with failure and rejection, B, get some conviction in my voice, And then finally get to a point where it was like, you're going to be exhibited at the #1 exhibition center in the UK.
Because you believed in
blah,
it.
blah, blah. Yeah, etc. And you learn from figuring out what's actually going to happen. And you're so right that if you don't research the product, you can't just read a script.
For sure.
And I think that's where the energy goes wrong, when you just are repeating a script, but you don't believe in it.
Well, you said something interesting. It's like people will just immediately put the phone down. Just, no, I'm not interested. Boom. A lot of people think that in sales, you have to sell every single person. And when you get a no, that's an indicator that you're a bad sales rep, right? But in sales, you're talking to unqualified and qualified buyers. So a lot of the times, if you're talking to someone that's unqualified, that you shouldn't sweat it. Your job, if you are cold calling or door knocking or doing any sort of cold approach, is just, the way that I like to explain it is, you're almost sifting through the unqualified buyers, and you're more qualifying if they are worth your time. You're like, okay, you slam the door in my face, no problem. I'm one step closer to getting somebody that will listen to me. Or you hung up the phone super quick. Awesome. Thank you for not wasting my time, because it would have drained my energy on somebody that I actually can help. So in life in general too, you will learn that not every single person is worth your time. And there's a difference between somebody that does and doesn't. It's unqualified buyers and qualified buyers. So there comes a point in life where you just get some sort of confidence, because you know that life is a numbers game.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think the point, going back to my manipulation point, is that if someone doesn't want it, you're not trying to convince the person who already put the phone down on you
For sure.
to pick the phone back up to convince them because you want to get a good target.
Right.
You're accepting the fact that this isn't the right person.
Right.
They obviously don't need this or want this, and that's okay. Talk to me about what people, you're in your 20s, what should people in their 20s be doing to have a great financial future?
Oh my gosh. Okay, couple things. One, move out. You cannot change yourself if you are still tied to the perceptions that everybody else has around you. Like the people that you grew up with, they see you as your old version of yourself. So if you truly want like exponential quantum leap change of yourself, you need to almost kind of have a clean slate and not feel bad about, presenting yourself a little differently or trying new things out. So I think, old friends, old family members even, not that they're the problem, but it just makes it a lot easier when you do change your physical surroundings to also change yourself internally. I would also recommend, when you do move, buy the most expensive gym membership, sit in the sauna, and talk to everybody. One connection can literally change your life. And the amount of people that I've met just from talking to people in the elevator, sitting in the sauna and just being open, not having a frown on your face all day and being a little bit approachable, it will change your life. And again, it's a numbers game. You might have some weirdos, you might have some randos, but that very few people that you do interact in a conversation with, keep them in your back pocket, because your network is your net worth, obviously. I would say use your credit card like your debit card. I've been a big, proponent of that. Invest every 20 cents to the dollar is a good one. I wish I knew that a long time ago, because I was always just spend. But I would literally shake myself and be like, and just throw it into the market. It doesn't matter. Put it all in Bitcoin, whatever. And then I would say learn a high income skill, because you need to provide value in the marketplace if you want to get paid for it. So mine was obviously sales, but there's copywriting, tech, AI, content creation. Whatever your skill is, just hone in on it and be the best of the best and try to provide other people value. Because if you become an irreplaceable asset, you'll never be replaced, And then the last thing, do the complete opposite of what everybody else around you is doing. If you look left and right and everybody's doing the same thing, do the opposite. If you want to have a different result, you need to do different things in order to have a different result. And then also be the best at whatever you're doing. So whether you are working as a barista, whether you're a server, whether you're a teacher, be the best. Like take pride in your job, because that's something that nobody can take away from you. And a lot of that effort and skill set that you're getting right now is going to translate to what you actually want to do in the future. You just might not see it right now.
That is a great list.
Yeah.
I love that list.
I remember working at a coffee shop. I was a barista. It was one of my first jobs. And I was the best barista ever. Like I was picking up every extra shift. I was door dashing on the side. Like I loved making money. And I knew it wasn't my forever job because I would look left and right and everybody was just showing up doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe they were smarter because we were getting paid the same amount. But I think that sort of mentality where it's like, you know, you're a star, you know, the job that you're in right now might just be a stepping stone. It's okay though, because the skill sets and the work ethic that you have right now are going to pay you dividends throughout your whole life. So maybe you're getting paid the same amount as someone that's just showing up right now, but it's the work ethic that can never be taken away.